Hello and welcome back to our little podcast, the SBG podcast. I'm Michael Hines. I'm here today with Andy Powell, and I'll introduce everything about Andy. Andy works for Prosperity Bank, and he does like commercial lending, and that's how I got to know Andy. I got to know him also as a student through the jiu-jitsu that we do. But just introducing the podcast, we're just talking about just stuff going on here in New Braunfels, letting you know. Keeping you informed of what's going on, just kind of trying to grow the community. I run SBG New Braunfels Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu School with my wife, Kaylee. We teach Jiu-Jitsu to all ages, basically 5 to 70. We teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We've also added Muay Thai, kickboxing to our programs. If that's something you're interested in, you can go to our website, get yourself register to do a free trial class, and you have a lot of fun with that. But today I'm going to be talking to Andy. And Andy, you can tell me your full title and all of that, just so I don't screw anything up. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Andy Powell, and I'd like to say first and foremost, thanks for having me on.
Mm-hmm.
Love this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I was a student for some time. Life caught up with me, and I'm trying to get back in, but I can't say enough nice things about the operation Coach Michael and Kaylee are running here. It's a beautiful operation, and I'm just so thankful I can help them along the way with some banking needs and just being good friends. So yes, again, Andy Powell. I'm Vice President Commercial Lender for Prosperity Bank here in town. It's down 46. It's right past the HEB there at the intersection of Oak Run and 46. So I've been here in New Braunfels doing that for... Moved here in 2017, grew up in a small town, El Campo, Texas. Went to school at Texas State, just loved the area. It's not nearly as humid as the Gulf Coast, and fell in love with it. Graduated college with an accounting degree, didn't really want to know what I wanted to do. Fell into banking for a little bit and ended up loving it. And so here I am today. Absolutely love the position I'm in. Work for great people. That's really what makes a career, I would say, a job. Who you work with, what's your work environment like, and I have a lot of good things to say about that and what Prosperity Bank has to offer here in town. A little bit about Prosperity Bank is we are actually a fairly large bank. We are don't quote me, actually, I'm not even going to say the number because I know I'm not going to get it right, but we're in asset size, we're the third largest Texas chartered bank in Texas. And so we have the ability to offer many different products at a reasonable rate. I specialize in lending, commercial lending, mainly focused in commercial real estate. However, we do some C&I stuff, C&I meaning commercial and industrial, so like your line of credits, your non-real estate based commercial loans, buying a business, things like that. But primarily try to focus on a tangible asset, that being commercial real estate. Not only that, new loan origination, customer relationships. We're out involved in the community. Let me back up quick. I glossed over real quick. We are a large bank, however, we try to operate as a community bank, involved in the community.
I'd like to speak to that for a second. Kaylee and I, when we made the move from Korea to Texas, which was quite a thing, we initially went with more like I won't throw them so hard under the bus, but we did go through like a national chain, and part of that's because we were moving our money from all the way one side of the world to the other side of the world. I lived in South Korea for 13 and a half years, and Kaylee and I were married there for almost a decade and had built a life there, so a bit of a nest egg. So when you're moving across the world, all of your worldly possessions and stuff, it's kind of a big deal. We went with the national chain mostly because we weren't really all that aware of what we were getting into and stuff like that, and we wanted that for the ease of transfer of funds and things like that. But when I met Andy, and then we started talking about kind of meeting some of our own business needs and things like that, I gotta say, going from that national chain, which I won't name, over to Prosperity Bank has been phenomenal. And I think one of the biggest things is when we come into Prosperity Bank, I feel like they know who I am, and just the level of service is not comparable. Like it would be like comparing like a 5-star restaurant to like a
Chili's.
fast food restaurant. I would really like fast food and like five star. I still have a little bit of like, I still have some residual accounts at that national chain, and when I go in there, it's just like, it's like a stressor, to be honest. Like I go in there,
well,
oh my god, how much time do I have to deal with?
And that's what we strive not to be. And that's what I love about Prosperity Bank is because you're my customer. I have a lot of other customers. I see in the lobby I come out and talk to.
Right.
Whereas, and again, I'm not going to mention any names, but you go into other institutions, and there's nothing wrong with that. They have their pros and cons. Sure. But sometimes they'll sit you down at a kiosk to make an appointment. That's a week away. Right. Whereas what we offer, and I love it, is, hey, let me text Andy. Can I come meet him in 30 minutes? Yeah, I'm here at the bank. Come on, stop in. So, you know, when it comes to the bigger banks, yes, they may have more locations. It may be a little more convenient. But what you don't get is the personal touch, the personal relationship. And that's what I love about being a community banker. And then also our competitive advantage is being a large enough bank to offer a lot of things that smaller community banks can't. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, in my opinion. That's why I love where I'm at.
And one of the reasons I wanted to have Andy here on the podcast is because a lot of times I end up talking, and I know within our own gym we have a number of like small business owners and stuff, and I'll start talking to them as a small business owner myself, and often things will come up like maybe they want to buy a building or they want to expand, they want to do all these kinds of things, and like I think one of the things that really stood out to me when I first started talking to Andy, it just kind of came up. I didn't know it for a little while. You were training here for a little while. And I was like, hey, what do you do? Like, and then you were like, oh, I'm a commercial lender. And I was like, really?
I need to talk to you.
I need to talk to you. Like, I was like, we need to have a conversation. And what I really appreciated about Andy versus, again, I'm going after that big chain, but like, we had someone in the big chain. I mean, we had our business there. And like, when we would want to talk to them about business, they had a product that they wanted to sell us. They were like, we want to get you on this card, or we want this. Like they were trying to push an agenda. And what I found is there was very little time of us talking to them. Like they didn't seem particularly concerned with what we actually wanted or needed. And what I liked about when I came to Andy was like, it's like, we just laid our cards on the table. It's like, here's what we want to do. And Andy was like, let me think over this. Let me find a way to try to like get you guys what you want to do. And like, that was huge. Like he was actually trying to serve what I felt it from the beginning. Like he wanted to serve what we wanted. Whereas when we went to the other group and Kaylee and I talked about this, it's like when we talked about what we wanted, they were like, kind of like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, but it was like, hey, we got this new thing, like, and they were just trying to push like some credit card or something like that onto us that we just didn't really we didn't want, like, and they're like, oh yeah, if you get this right now, it's like 2% cash backs or something. And we're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but we're actually really interested in this. Oh yeah, I don't know about that. Like, so it was just a night and day experience, and I really wanted, I'm constantly referencing Andy to other small businesses when I talk, and now that I have you on the podcast, I'm just like, here, watch this podcast. Now you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm interrupting a lot. Tell me more about what you do and like,
Sure.
You know, and kind of like, imagine like if it was a small business came to you, what are your questions for them, and like how can you help them most? Yeah,
sure. So in addition to loan origination, you want to buy a building or you need a working capital line of credit, you know, we'll look at loan origination. That's primarily what I'm doing. But I'm also servicing my portfolio. So all of the loans we do are kept portfolioed in the bank's holdings. Goes to the balance sheet. And so I'm also servicing those. So I'm fielding calls. Coach Michael has a question on his payment. Why does payment go up? Well, let me look into that. Oh, it looks like your escrow. Maybe your escrow went up. So in addition to that, I'm also, you know, involved in the community, as I mentioned. Those are kind of various aspects. Being a vice president of the bank, I'm also involved in personnel. How can I support the retail staff? The retail staff of a bank is the individual's opening account when you walk in, the lobby, so to speak. I'm involved in those operations, although in a minority sense, but I'm there to support them. Going back to your question, you come to me, you're needing a loan for XYZ. Okay, well, the way I communicate to customers is they tell me what they need. And sometimes you have to pull back the curtain to find out what it is specifically they're asking what they need. I need a line of credit. Well, because some individuals may not understand what a line of credit, or there's many various types of a line of credit. A working capital line of credit, maybe it's permanent working capital they need. So it all starts with a conversation, and that's, hey, tell me about your business. When did you start? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals? And from there, I try to figure out, zone in on their specific need, right? If it is purchasing a building, well, what are you paying now? I got a lease right now, and I'm paying XYZ, and I want to buy a multi-million-dollar building. Well, you do realize that the loan payment is basically going to take the place of the rent payment. Have you thought about a multi-million-dollar? Maybe that doesn't make, okay, well, maybe we need to scale it back a little bit. Right. So it all starts with the conversation. It really does. Getting to know the customer, getting to know the business. And a lot of times, not a lot, but sometimes you run into where the bank may not be the best option, right? Maybe there's a specialized lender out there that does exactly what they're needing. I'm totally in the school of thought of let's not waste the customer's time, let's not waste my time, right? So I generally know from a very quick standpoint, are we going to be the best fit, right? And sometimes we're not, and I will communicate that as soon as possible to the customer. But I will do whatever we can if it's in the bank's box and if it's in the customer's box to meet what that customer needs. And this is just a very broad, general, blanket explanation of kind of the ins and outs of what we do.
Yep. Well, I can attest to having worked with Andy, and I would never go back. And if I went back, I would do it the same time 100 times out of 100. So
Thank you. I appreciate
it's been great. Andy's been a huge help for me. I know if Kaylee were on here, she would just reiterate the exact same thoughts. If you have a chance, you're here in the New Braunfels area, and you're a small business, you're looking for that. You're like, man, I don't know where to go to. I understand that it's intimidating, because I was intimidated by the idea too. Now at least you can put a face with it, and just head over to Prosperity Bank, come talk to Andy, and he'll help take care of your business needs. Thanks for coming on, Andy.
Absolutely. Right. Thanks for having me.
Yep.